What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It's I, James, and today, finally getting to the video for clothing, shoes, and hats, and what it looks like when you use List Easier, the AI listing tool for eBay. And they've been working on the category for the last couple of days, doing some details and stuff on the back end. So haven't put nothing new up clothing-wise in the last couple of days. So I'm just going to go here and show you what it spits out so you guys can get more comfortable. You clothing sellers out there can get more comfortable with it. So I'm actually was quite surprised with how good it was. So we'll get into that. First up, we've got some George brand moccasins, women's 7 to 8 brown suede slip-on flat comfort shoes. So pretty simple, straightforward there. And then I let AI do the description. These women's moccasins style slide-on from George features a rich brown suede upper with detailed stitching around the toes. So it's just given basically the details of what the shoe looks like and such. So if you want to read all these, I'll come here and you can pause the video if you want to read them and get more comfortable with it. I've grown to just really trust List Easier. Like, there's so much stuff I don't even check. And a lot of these descriptions is something I don't even check because I've just gotten so comfortable with the fact that I know it's going to be pretty spot on. So next up, we have some Born women's comfort shoes here. It did put the style number second. I've grown to just go with whatever it spits out at me because it's AI. It should be smarter to me when it comes to how things should be set up, maybe what people are looking for in the title and things like that. So I've grown to just accept what it puts out for those reasons. Again, we've come down in the details of the item specifics. These were all chosen by AI in themselves. So lace up, leather, casual, colors, all that kind of stuff. And again, with the description done by AI. I'll let you read all that. And also with the description, you don't have to go with the AI description. If you just have something that's just a blank statement that you put in description, you can go with that and set that for all the items within your batch. I do it for most of the items, like hats and CDs and things like that. So then you don't even have to worry about what's down here. As long as you've got your title and if you're doing clothes, putting your dimensions in the pictures and things like that, you don't even have to worry about what's down there. Doc Martens 1460 style women's black leather combat boots. I did put the word distressed in here, so I did add that myself. Again, come down to the item specifics. It added all of those on its own, as well as the description. 8 eyelets. Does it have 8? Did it count them right too? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It does. So the toe shape is rounded. So yeah. Again, the more you use List Easier, once it becomes available, you're going to realize how much you can actually trust it, which is great when it comes to something that's supposed to make things quicker, right? You don't want to spend a lot of time reading and checking. You just kind of want to just do a quick glance and go with it. And then, so your longest amount of time probably going to be just comping, prices, getting your prices set. Which there is a link next to the price on List Easier that will help you do that. So I'll show you all that at the end too, if you haven't seen that yet. They are working on shoes on the back end. It did pull the wrong brand, not the brand, but the wrong style for the Vandal. It actually pulled it as an Air Force One. So they're working on that right now to address that situation. I sent him the pictures so he can, I guess, try to tweak it and figure out, what the issue was. Maybe it wasn't reading the tag properly. Maybe it was my picture. A lot of the things with clothing, especially, make sure you take great pictures of everything. Take the pictures of the tags, the condition, or the if you want it to bring up what the item is made of, cotton and things like that. So make sure you take a picture of all that. Vans Classic Slip-On. There's no detail here. I went to change the description and I accidentally deleted it, so I just put a common blanket statement there. Vans Classic Slip-On, men's 8.5, women's rainbow checkerboard casual skate shoes. So again, it pulled up all that information. Pulled up the item specifics. It gave every color that's on it. And I didn't do the description here either, did I? I'm not sure what happened there. That maybe I accidentally deleted that for some. I don't remember. Some reason I changed it. I don't know why. Huh. That one, it's been a few days, so sorry. These were put up 2 days ago. So I don't know what happened there. All right, let's get into women's hats. Again, this is an area that's being worked on. It was set up the way where it was putting the brand first because it's a clothing category. So usually with the brands, you want the brand first, like Vans, Nike, things like that. So I did send notes about on the hats, instead of putting the brand name at first, move it into the title somewhere so that it puts the more important whatever's on the hat first. So that is being worked on. So these I've manually changed because these were before they were working on it. But again, just a hat. And I think it's going to be AI here, yeah, because I forgot to change it. So in the future, I'm going to change my draft template to just put in my blanket statement on hats. But again, it's just coming up with the common stuff that it sees in the pictures. So, unbranded. I couldn't even read these initials, so I couldn't tell that first letter if it's an L or what, so I just left it. But an Under Armour women's ball cap there. Bryce Canyon Fahrenheit. Again, Fahrenheit was first, so I just moved that manually. Like I said, that should be fixed before it gets to you. Again, all these are exact words that AI pulled up. And we're into men's hats now. And men's hats is, I just put a blanket statement as my description. Thanks for your support since 2001. All my items are guaranteed. Hats are pre-owned, may have stains being they are used. Please view pictures for detailed condition. So I prefer to have that in something like used hats as opposed to, AI describing the colors of the hat and what it's made of. I'm not too worried about that. So I do take a picture of the brand, what it's made of. So if it wants to put it in the title, it can. Like right here on the Life is Good hat, it put cotton and distressed in the title. So St. Louis Cardinals Star Wars baseball cap. Key West Farm Horse Pacific. This one, it did not recognize the key. I mean, you got a backwards E. Can't really tell what it is. So I wasn't mad that it didn't recognize what that was. And I actually had to Google it to figure it out. I knew it had something to do with horses. So it was a place around the St. Louis area. So Key West Farm, or Key West Farm is what it's called for horses. So I had to do a little bit of search on that one. And you got to remember, AI is not going to be a 100% of the time. So you're going to have some stuff here and there. Like I said, it's more about it being right 99% of the time as opposed to a program that might only be right 60% of the time, because it's about it enhancing and making things quicker for you. So Air Force Academy hat. U.S. Army hat. Here's what it does. So the brand of the hat's Union Wear, U.S. Army. So I just left Union Wear first on that one. I didn't care, instead of moving it somewhere else in the title. So you get the idea there. But then when the brand is like a Guinness, then it's going to be first in the anyway. So U.S. Marines, Folds of Honor, St. Thomas, Air Force Falcons, Nike Heritage. This one, it probably had Nike first, so I moved it. Hicks Auto Sales. All right, now I'll just let you look through those. So I'm not repeating myself. Like I said, it's just putting what should be there, and then sometimes a little bit more. That's just will hopefully help it sell type of thing. So Reebok Hardwood Classic Syracuse. I'll bring the bad decisions. All right, now we're getting into some pants. We've got some men's joggers here. Again, this is what, if I changed something or I added something, I'll let you know. If I don't say anything, that's exactly what AI created. So I did add new. It didn't recognize that it was new. So I did put new on that one. And then these should have the AI description. These men's cargo jogger pants from Gap are designed for comfort and functionality. I thought about keeping these for myself. They look comfortable. And then just goes on and gives you more details about the pants themselves. Again, just stuff you can trust. I got some men's jeans here. So nowhere on these jeans does it say the brand name except for the button. So I made sure to take a picture up close of the button so that it would pull the name off of that. So that's where it pulled the name from. Like none of the tag or anything else on the jeans had the name. So it pulled all that. And then all the details and the item specifics. 5 pocket, where it's made, pulled that off the tag. The inseam, the size. Again, just giving more details about it and, hyping it up, if you will. I think that's what I'm going to start calling AI, is the hype. It's your hype man, right? That kind of falls into that category. So AI hyping up your listing for you to help it sell. Next, we got these women's Anne Klein 16 petite. Again, it created that completely. And let me see what the measurements are. So we got 17 by 26 on that. And come down here, see if it even pulled those. No, it didn't even pull them. I have no problem with them not pulling the off of the ruler into here, because that's what the pictures are for. So not all of them. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. So this one it did not. Like I said, I have no problem when it does not, because it's in the picture anyway. So it's just kind of a redundancy. Let me get a drink here. So no big deal in my opinion. Next up, we got these Wallflower skinny jeans. Women's size 3. Again, AI created that exact title just like it sits. All the item specifics and the description. So if you want to read what that is, you may do so by pausing the video. Now we're getting into some t-shirts. So Wiz Khalifa. So again, this is what it brings up for the title. Item specifics. And we have the details. So it did bring up the measurements here. I did notice every once in a while it might be an inch off, but here's the way you can look at it. It does say usually approximately, and it does say sometimes around. So if you've got the picture showing the numbers, do you really have to worry about it if this said approximately 18 inches when it's 17? You know, that's up for debate, depending on you, but if you just glance down here and look at the numbers and see it's one off, it only takes a second to change it if you don't want to go with it. With rulers, it's just, I guess, you know, it's not 100% thing yet. So, will that change in the future? Probably, with AI, and you know, it gets smarter and things like that. So, I'm sure it will change. So as of right now, it may be an inch off, but like I said, the way they word it, it shouldn't hurt you. All right, this shirt I liked because, all right, so we got this Vintage Motorcycle Day 99 men's large t-shirt, distressed. So it picked up the fact that it was distressed. And I'm going to show you in the description why I like it. So again, here you got all the details, but let me find, because when I saw that, I wanted to come down to read this. So the shirt is white with a classic crew neckline and short sleeves, 100%. Where's it at? Here it is. The fabric is soft but shows signs of wear, including a small hole and scattered stains as pointed out in the detailed images. That right there, when it did that, I'm like, yes. Because that's one thing that I wasn't sure about. Is it going to recognize that I'm pointing out a hole? Is it going to recognize that I'm pointing out these stains? And it did. It recognized I was actually pointing, quote unquote, pointing out in detailed images. So when you come up here, how I took the pictures, again, I there and pointed out the holes and pointed out all the little stains on the front. So, and it recognized that. So once it did that, I'm like, yes. Women's Nike shirt. Yeah, Cardinal shirt, sorry. Again, we got the details here. Approximately 18 inches, and the length is about 24 inches. What I did do on these, if they were off by one, I just went ahead and changed it because it was kind of very easy to spot the numbers within all these words. So if it was off by an inch, I went ahead and changed it. But in the future, I'm probably just going to leave it. I'll be comfortable with it because this doesn't say exact. So until that method is honed in, and it's very hard because you got all those numbers on the ruler right there. I do have an idea that I'm working on that may help that. I've used it once so far and it came out 100% accurate, but I haven't been able to try it since. So we've got Missouri Tigers, Mizzou. On this one, I did add the word Mizzou. Did not pull the word Mizzou in. But that could be also the category it's in. The category, if you put it, make sure you put the stuff in the right categories. This is like, without List Easier, I would have put this in sports categories. But that category is not available right at the moment on List Easier. So I just went ahead and threw it in the sweatshirt category. So if I would have put this into the sports category, it may have pulled up Mizzou. So it would have read that from probably some of the more detailed item specifics or whatever. So I did add Mizzou. Again, you come down. Again, approximately 19 inches. And the length is about 23 inches. So there you go on that. St. Louis Blues women's hoodie. Again, I would have put this one in sports if it was available, but But I think he had blues first, because it's kind of read it off the thing. It says blues in St. Louis, so I think it had blues St. Louis. So I just moved the word blues. But like I said, if I put that in the sports category and actually use the sports category, it probably would have put it correct. Again, given all the details in the item specifics. And if you want to read the description, you may. It's all right there for the printed glory. Hyping your item up. All right, we got the State of Mind, North Pole University. This one, it did not recognize the word mine on the tag, M-I-N-E, and I'll show you why. I couldn't even read it. If I didn't know what the brand was, I would have been like, what? But other than that, that's everything it printed out. But here's the tag. Like, that cursive writing, it could say M-I-M-E, but I think it read it as N-I-V. So it did. That was a quick change, obviously, to do. And I think I might have forgot to change it in the down here. Yeah, brand, State of Nerve. So I need to come back in and change that, because I didn't catch that. Like I said, I just grown to trust this stuff, so I forgot to even come down and check when I changed it up there to come down and change it here. And same with the description. I forgot to change it there, so I got to do that. But again, that's something that's not going to necessarily hurt, because that's not even a real brand, so it's not like it's being branded wrong technically. So I'll just go in and change that. So measurements indicate a medium size, so it didn't, again, this one did not put the sizes down, it just kind of hyped it up. Next up, the Puma pullover sweatshirt. Again, all AI generated there. When I take the pictures, I'll just go through pictures here and what I'm doing. Taking that, I flip it up, take a picture of the what it's made of, back. And what I was trying to do is center the, I try centering the number in the picture. So this one's a little blurry. Again, details here. And this one, it put the cross size, the pit to pit, but it didn't put the length. And that could be because my picture was cramping, because this picture is kind of fuzzy. It's got a little, so maybe it just didn't feel comfortable pulling it. So again, no big deal in my eyes, because I got the picture there. So Stitches Milwaukee Brewer sweatshirt. Again, this is the way it's set up. If it wasn't the Stitches brand, I would have moved the brand someplace else. But Stitches is a nice quality piece, so I went ahead and left that first. It's a nice quality brand. Again, you have your detailed item specifics. And then we got approximately 20 inches and about 25 inches. And I don't remember which ones I changed by the 1 inch. There was only maybe three, I think, that were off. So it's pretty accurate. Green Bay Packers. This one, again, with the sports thing, it didn't put in the word Packers, so I put that in there. Again, it's not in the sports category. Would it put that in there? Would it have put that in if it was in the sports category? I'd like to believe it would, but I don't know yet. So we'll find that out in the future. Again, the details here. And your Hype Man AI doing its thing. Next up, we got the men's Ralph Lauren sleepwear. Again, it pulled up, that's all AI, along with the specifics and along with the item description. And we get into more shoes. So we got the Converse Shoreline Chuck Taylors. With the Converse, I wanted to do more than one Converse to see if I could throw it off and how it would do. It did not recognize these were Shorelines. Shorelines are the ones that have the kind of fold down back that you just slip on. So I did add the word Shoreline in there. But everything else is AI. And then with shoes, I just put a standard description in those. This one I did add Warhol at the end because they are Andy Warhols. But I'll show you why my receiver turned off, so I can't see the screen right now. But I'll show you why it may have missed that. Could have run out of characters too. I may have erased something to put Warhol in, but it may have ran out of characters, so that may be why it didn't print it. Now that I'm thinking back, but it's on the tongue down here, kinda. You can kind of read it, but kind of not. And the same here. You couldn't, if you didn't know what it said, it'd be very hard to read. So, but yeah, like I said, I don't remember if it ran out of characters and I erased something, or I don't remember on that. Again, some Nikes. Again, with the Nike, it pulled a different brand, so I had to type in the style number to get the exact brand on it. Again, they are aware of that problem and looking into it. So I've only done 2 Nikes, and they both brought up a different style than what it is. But everything else is its own making. So, and again, with the item specifics, and then my own little description. Pair of Converse, this one was exactly brought up. I actually did search to see if they had a special name, being they had this embroidered on them, but I couldn't find a special name for them. So everything is as it brought up. Got your item details there. I may not have everything clicked on shoes. I'll have to go back and check. Then we got the men's hats again, so it's just going to be the same old thing here as shown earlier in the video. But very trustworthy. And I've gone through these in other videos, so I think I did. Did I? I don't know if I... Maybe I didn't. JanSport Southern Illinois University mom crew neck sweatshirt. It didn't recognize who this fox was. So I Googled it to find out who this fox was, and apparently it's a YouTube channel. I don't think they've made videos in a year or something, if I remember correctly. But it was a furry channel, so I put the name of the furry. So I put that in. Everything else is AI generated. These probably got descriptions. Let me see. Yeah. Again, your hype man doing its thing. Around 20 inches, approximately 24. So again, not giving exact. So that's good, just in case it is off by 1 and you do miss it. So, like I said, it shouldn't hurt you. Wood River Triathlon. This one I did add VTG, vintage. And here we go here. Sponsorship of Coca-Cola. Offering the soft and comfortable. And again, there is a small faint stain on the sleeve, which does not affect the overall visibility of the graphic or the shirt's functionality. Again, it was a picture. I just pointed to a stain, and it knew that. So That's pretty damn good if you ask me. And more hats there. But lastly, we'll just stop on this one, a Disney store. It pulled the person up, who it is, even though it's not on it anywhere. So it did recognize the character, which is good. And it recognized the whole character, the actual cartoon name down here. So, again, I can't stress. I've seen videos of others, and how one of the main complaints is the time you have to spend checking the item. It kind of makes it pointless, right? That's what I'm loving about this, is the fact that it is so trustworthy, and you will see that once you get into it. I want you to remember too, if you're watching other people who are starting to use this and you're watching their videos, remember there's a learning curve. There's a learning curve to figure it out. I try to do videos to show how it all works, but you got to learn on your own. So everybody's going to be different. Some people may slower, some people may pick it up quicker. Just remember that. I can knock out 100 items in an hour. Just remember that. So if you're watching other people, just know that once you get going and get rolling, you can knock out some serious merchandise. So, yeah. What I've started doing is something new, just trying something new, is I'm pulling over boxes of stuff that I have and just storing it in here for now. So like on these CDs, you open it up, it's all here. All I have to do is go in here, just check it right quick, and then do the comp on it if I don't know the comp. Like I've sold this one already. So let me see if I got another one in my store. So then I come over here, and sometimes I'll, with eBay search, less is more. So it's looking like nothing's listed, or is something spelled wrong? Yes, Texas is not the title of the CD. And that's why I'll have to check it. So where it pulled Texas from, I'm not sure. Like I said, it's not going to be 100% perfect all the time. So you always got to do a quick search, a quick look. So, Edward Collins. So I'll come in here. Dave did just rewrite the CD title layout, which I like a lot better. It pulls in more information for the title. So I do enjoy that. It's just if you're doing comps, remember eBay search is less is more. Just do a quick delete type of thing there. And then I search to make sure it's not in my store. And that's not in my store. So then I will go ahead and do the price, and then it's ready for upload. So yeah, just trying something new on that end. And it does cut off at 80 characters. So it'll take no time at all to just go through here and comp and make sure it's not in my store. So I'll be doing that. But yeah, something I figured I'm going to just, since I got pictures of stuff, I'm just going to store them in here and just start doing it like that, because basically everything's done except me going through it, and that'll take no time at all. So with everything already over here ready to go, I may be able to get 1,000 of them done in a day. So that's crazy. Is there anything else new? They've just been working on a lot of tweaks, making things better. So I don't think there's really anything new yet. But I can show you real quick if you wanted to create a batch. Again, create a batch, pick which store you want it to go into, make your template so that your templates are over here. That means everything's already filled out. You don't have to do it again. The same here, already filled out. You don't have to do it again. Create batch, browse for pictures. So simple as that. I'll just do this one real quick and show you, and then I'll delete it. I did learn something new. When you load over 100 pictures, sometimes you'll have some that will fail. Not all the time, but sometimes. And if you do have some that fail, and this has only happened if it's like 100 or over. I've never had it happen under 100. All you have to do is start scrolling down, and they'll be in red. All you have to do is click the exclamation point and OK, and it'll reload them. So I did learn that. And like I said, this is 100 plus. So if you're doing 100 plus, taking a minute to do this is no big deal, because it takes the same amount of time for the other portions, whether you have 1 or 100. So I'm not going to generate this one because I think they're working on the back end, and I think it'll just be really slow today probably, because they're updating the clothes categories, tweaking them and stuff. So, but I wanted to show this little trick because I didn't know about this. You know, if you can hear Pee-wee snoring. And then your auto assign. If you know everyone has 2 pictures, you put it on 2 and hit auto assign. If you don't know if they have, you know, if you've got some in here that had 3 pictures or 4 pictures, then you can manually just create your listing one at a time. Click start, click in, click create. Click start, click in, click create. Both of those ways. So I won't finish that one out. I'll just delete that since I already got those uploaded here. Oh, yeah, I was going to say I was going to check to see if it would pull up Texas on that one again, but I ain't going to waste your time for that. So, all right, because sometimes if you don't have, the one thing with clothes I've learned is you will get different results depending on your pictures. If you got crappy pictures, you're going to get a crappy thing. And you go back and you take better pictures, you're going to get a better readout. So I played with things like that. So, and overall, it's just nice, steady, and trustworthy. So I think you guys are going to dig it. You're going to enjoy it. And it's definitely going to make life a lot easier for you. So, all right, until it comes out, click the link below, listeasier.com. Put your email address in to be ready for the beta live when it does drop. And it's the way things are sounding, it just feels like it's going to be really soon. So be ready. All right. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later.